session with some bands. I know you love them. So I have a TheraBand and a booty band, but you can just have a TheraBand. You can always do it without if you don't have one at all. So whatever you've got, let's use that. So we're going to start with a little roll down. So you're going to come to the very back edge of your mat. You're going to take a lovely big breath in. And you're going to exhale, and you're going to roll down through the spine. When you get down to the bottom, you're going to walk those hands out. If this is a bit much for you, feel free just to stay with that roll down. Otherwise, we're going to walk out to plank, squeeze the bottom, draw the belly in, bend in the knees, pushing into the floor with the hands to roll yourself all the way back up to standing. And take a breath at the top, and we repeat. So we're going to do 3 more, just in your own time. Steady away. Enjoy that hang at the bottom. If you want to take a pause here, go for it. Otherwise, just walk straight out to your plank. Really warm those shoulders up by pushing into the floor, bringing all the weight into the shoulders. Head and shoulders are the last thing to come up. 2 more here. Final time, finding our way back to standing at the end. All the way back to standing. Lovely. Grab your band. Have it nice and wide in both hands. You're just going to lift your arms up and overhead, take a big breath in. On your exhale, you're going to come into a side bend, just reaching across to the side. Take a breath in again. On your exhale, draw down with that bottom arm as you push away with the top. Through and through. Breath. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale to draw that band down, create that tension, through and through. 2 more each side. And 1 more each side. To center. Bring the hands, bring your band into your palms, palms facing up towards the sky. Elbows tucked in. Adjust the band as much as you need to. All bands are different, so you might have a bit more tension on yours. And we're just going to do our serving tray. So we're going to take our arms wide, our hands wide, as the elbows stay tucked in. Drawing that tension into the band there. We stay nice and tall. We want to think about having a little tuck of the tailbone here so we can activate up from the pelvic floor, draw the belly in. And we're thinking about squeezing the shoulder blades together. From the back. So as we squeeze, shoulder blades draw together. And through. You want enough slack on the band so you can bring your hands almost to shoulder height. You don't want it to be too hard. Use that exhale. Inhale to come through. A little pause at the top. 3 more here. And then 1 final time. Lovely. And bring it down. Coming into some squats, so we're just going to bring The band's in our hands, palms facing down this time. Overhead squats is your higher option. I'll start with the higher option and then I'll take it down so we've got the variations. So bring your feet into your squat position. Feet wider than the hips, toes pointed away. And we're going to squat down. Same as always, sending the hips back, knees come forward, arms come up and overhead. So as we squat down, arms come up and overhead, create a bit of tension on the band and up. Now, a couple of things to think about. As we come down and the arms come overhead, what you're going to want to do is bring your chest down. We want to stay lifted. If that's inaccessible for you today, just bring it out in front. Again, the same thing's going to want to happen, but you're not going to let it. I'll show you from the side. So this is a bad effort. Yeah, I'm not connecting to the core. Good effort. A zip up, I draw in. Stay lifted, and my lats are working there to pull down. Otherwise, just stay out in front. Remember, we draw the knees wide. You scoop in at the belly. It takes a lot of core control to come to that overhead squat. So if it's not in your practice today, that's all good. We're going to do 4 more, and then I'm going to hold it down there. Squeeze the bum at the top. Grip the mat with the feet. Last 2. And then on the last one, we're going to come down, we're going to hold just to whatever's comfortable for you. And you're going to lift and lower. 15 seconds. We can just hold arm in front. Maybe you can draw the band wide. 10 seconds. Don't bottom out at the bottom, yes? So if we're down here, we're doing that. We want to stay active. 5, 3, 2, 1. Draw yourself up. Give those legs a shake off. Hopefully we're feeling a bit warmer. Coming into some single leg RDLs, some deadlifts. Double leg if that again is a bit inaccessible for us today. So what we're going to do, we're going to wrap the band around our foot so that when we're at the top position, we've got a bit of tension there. It's going to help just give us that little extra engagement. So let's all start with the same leg. We're going to have right foot down on the floor, band around the right foot. Nice bit of tension. So when we're at the top, you can feel that tension. So as we come down, we hinge. The slack comes off. And then we come through. If you need to walk the hands down a little bit further, feel free to adjust. I really want you to feel that tension. If that's a bit hard and you're struggling to balance, I want you to pop both feet in. And you're going to do the same thing. You're going to hinge. Notice how I'm coming down with a flat back. I'm sending my hips towards the, sending my bum towards the back wall. And then lift a nice squeeze. Otherwise, single leg. Now we're drawing the belly up and in to help with that balance, but we're thinking about this leg. So we're pulling up in the front of the quad and we're engaging this glute. We're trying to keep our hips balanced. And then each time we come through, maybe we can lift that back leg a little higher. Scoop the belly, use that exhale. Maybe give it a pause and through. 20 more seconds on this side. If you do that double leg, you just carry on. Last 10. Last effort here. 3, 2, 1. Let's come into a hold for 10. A little bend in the knee. Keep those hips balanced. 3, 2, 1. Take that band off. Give that leg a little shake out. Let's go straight onto the other side. If you're doing that double leg, you're just going to carry on chucking. So set that position. We start tall, we tuck the tailbone, little bend in the knee, we grip the mat with the foot. Take a breath in and we exhale to hinge. Remember, one side often feels better than the other. So don't worry if you feel a bit wobbly. Just set that position, grip the floor, use the core to balance. Starting to lift that leg a little higher each time. Little bend in the knee. 20 more seconds here. Keep those hips balanced. Keep it steady. Doesn't matter how high that leg comes. If you need it, revert to that double leg at any point, feel free. Did I say 20 seconds? I don't know, 20 seconds from now. Use the breath. 10 seconds. Coming into that hold in 5, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 10. Draw the belly in. Keep breathing. 5, 3, 2. Draw the band off. Give it a nice shake. We're going to come down to the mat, so take that band with you. Take a big breath in at the top and roll down. Have a little moment here as we move through this roll down. Come down onto the mat, onto your hands and knees. Continuing with a little bit of leg work. Let's start with the first leg that we did. So the right leg. This time the band's going to come around your foot. So this one you need to make sure that you keep your foot flexed so that your band doesn't slip off. If it does, just be careful. It also depends on the length of your band as well as to where you're going to need to position it. The band I've got is quite short. You just do whatever you need to do. We're going to be on our hands and knees. And we're going to do a kick back. So that right leg, that right foot is in the strap. And we're really going to use this hand to clamp down. It's going to call it a strap. It's not a strap, it's a band. That band. So then when we kick back, we engage the glute and draw in. Now what's going to want to happen is you're going to want to dump into this opposite hip. I want you to try not to let it. So switch onto that support. As we extend away and draw in. So you just do what's right for you. I need to stagger my hands a little bit here, but really you should have hands right underneath your shoulder. Hopefully your band's a bit longer than mine. Extend and draw in. So scooping in at the belly. Your leg just wants to come to hip height. You don't need to lift it any higher. Extend. We really scoop in as we extend away. Ten more seconds here, and we're going to take it into our rainbow. In 3, 2, 1. So we stay extended. We cross over to the side. With the band, it's probably going to be a smaller movement than normal. That's okay. Focus on that stability. It's really challenging to keep that body still. Stay with the kickback if you need to. We're here for 15. Three, 2, and 1. Draw it in, give it a little rest. Little challenge here. We're going to come into a plank position and draw the knee in and extend. If you need to, stay on the knees. You can be on in your low plank and draw in and extend away. It's going to work the abdominals a little bit more. If you're coming into that full plank, we're going to extend, scoop and hollow. Draw in, extend away. 20 seconds. Push into the floor with the hands. Stay with it. Drop to the knees if you need to. Last 10. Draw that belly in. 3, 2, 1. And rest. Whew, have a breather. We're going to do it all on the other side. In between though, we're going to come into a bird dog. So, we're going to use the band. Again, this is about support. Let's do, well, obviously we're just going to do one side. We'll keep it on the right side, so we'll keep the band under the right knee. So you'll actually be extending right arm, left leg. Again, you're just going to need to adjust depending on your band. So your band's going to be in your right hand. You're going to be in your 4-point kneeling position. And what we're going to do is opposite arm to leg. We move through. So we stay on the one side. We'll do this side and then we'll come on to that other side. So just to shoulder and hip height. Seconds here and then we'll switch. Draw that belly in. So remember, we don't want to dip in the back. We want to keep the body as stable as possible. Almost there. For 5, 3, 2, 1. Just switch that band over onto the other side. Into that bird dog. So now your band's going to be in your left hand, right leg's going to extend. Scoop the belly button up and in as we extend away and draw back. And again, if you just feel those stabilization muscles fire up just that little bit more with that extra tension there. Keep that belly button drawn in, 20 seconds. Last 10. Keep drawing up and in. For 3, 2, and 1. So coming into that leg work, remember you stay with whatever variation is best for you. Last little bit on the legs and then they're going to have a rest and we'll come into some upper body work. So bring that strap around your foot. I should have said before as well, the strap wants to be on the outer edge of your leg. See, hopefully yours are better than mine. I'm very short. And adjust your hand as you need to. Planting that hand down. Scooping and holding the belly just like we just did. And then you're going to extend away. Draw the knee in. Try not to dump into that opposite waist. Try not to let that back dip and arch. Nice. Exhale to extend. .15 seconds and then into our rainbow. Give it that little pause at the top. Last 10. 3, 2, 1. We cross. We cross. Draw the belly in. Focus on that stability. Cross. Cross. 15 seconds. Stay strong. Stay long in the spine. 10. 3, 2, and 1. Draw it in, have a little moment. Coming into that plank. We're not there long. Let's finish this side off. Remember, you can stay in that half plank if you need to. Drawing the knee in, extending away. Take a big breath. Come into that plank. Draw in and away. Twenty seconds. Push into the floor, scoop the belly, squeeze the bum. Keep those hips low. 10 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Take that band away. Have a little moment in child's pose. Use this time to have a quick drink if you need one. Take a little stretch. Take some deep breaths. Particularly the arms, stretch the arms off if you need to, because we're going to use them next. And whenever you're ready, we're going to come into a kneeling position. High kneeling or low kneeling, depending. And again, kind of depends on how long your band is. So we're going to have the band around the knee, doesn't matter which one, but just under one knee. And then your knees can be balanced here. We're going to come into a lateral raise, into our front raise. It's harder to do it in your high kneeling, so if you need to, just come down into your low kneeling position and we'll move from here. Obviously if you're higher, you've got a bit more tension there because of the height, but also I want you to tuck the tailbone and zip up in the belly so we're nice and stable, so we're not leaning backwards and forwards. From here, raising out to the side, just to shoulder height and down. Keeping that little bend in the elbow, so as the arm comes up, we're not locking out, we're not hunching the shoulders. Just to shoulder height. We raise out to the side. Actually, let's just stay here. We'll raise out to the side and then we'll come into the front raise. So scooping in at the belly, squeezing the bum, slow and controlled. "15 seconds here, and then we'll go into that front raise. And then we'll do a little combo after that. Keep that back up nice and strong, keep the shoulders away from the ears. 10 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. We're going to come into that front raise. So this time, keep your arms a little bit off. Raising up to the front. So this time, your body's going to want to do this one. Don't let it. Scoop in, squeeze the bum, keep it strong. Just to shoulder height. Remember, you can wrap the band around your hands if you need to, and you can adjust on that tension. Give it that little pause at the top. You should really start to feel those arms fatigue. Squeeze and draw in. More seconds. 3, 2, and 1. So this time we're going to come out to the side, round to the front, and down, and then the opposite way. So it's going like this. Same thing with the body. We squeeze, we draw out, circle it around, and down. Then at the bottom, we reset. We lift to the front, round to the side, and down. Breathe, squeeze. Shoulders away from ears. Don't let that chest flare. Control it. Don't let those arms drop. I know it's hard. If it's not hard enough, walk your hands down your band so you get a little bit more tension. 20 more seconds here. Just move through nice and steady. How are the shoulders? Stay nice and tall. Remember, at any point if you need to, come down into that low kneeling position. It is going to make it easy. Last 10. 3, 2, and 1. arms a little shake off. Coming into some triceps. I hope my band's long enough for this one. So, this one you're going to be in a low kneeling position. Actually, I'm going to show you this one from the side. Your band's around your ankles here. You can come up to a high kneeling position if you want to make it a little bit more challenging. Again, it just depends on the length of your band. Your arms are going to come behind your back. So we're going to be, imagine I've got my bands, we're going to be here, so we can do a tricep extension here. It's a bit awkward, it takes a bit of shoulder mobility, but once you're in that position, you're all good. We're going to take a little lean forward of the body this time as well, but we're still going to zip up in the core. So I'm here, I can grab a hold of it with both hands. I'm going to lean forward, I'm going to extend and draw in. Extend and draw in. So even though I've got that little lean forward, I'm still very active in my core, keeping my elbows tucked in. I'm just moving my forearms. I'm not letting my body sink. 20 seconds. Remember, you can come up a little higher into that high kneeling if you need to. Ten seconds. 3, 2, 1. Hold it up there for 10. For 3, 2, and 1. Break it down. Nice. One last little one on the arms, I believe. Yes. Great. So we're going to come into some rows. You're going to sit on your bum. You're going to bring your band around your feet. You're going to cross it over. So you've got opposite ones, opposite band, opposite end in each hand. Oh my days, that took me a while. Again, just walk the hands down as much as you need to create that tension. And we're just going to do a double arm to begin with. So you're going to sit nice and tall. So we're not just slouching down here, we're nice and active. We squeeze shoulder blades together and away. So I'm zipping up from my belly. I'm not letting my ribs flare. I'm still melting down ribs to hips. I'm going to squeeze my shoulder blades together. 20 more seconds here to activate these muscles. And then we're going to go into a single arm, alternating with a rotation. Keep rowing. Give it that little pause at the top. 10 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. So this time, one arm at a time, you're going to roll and rotate. So same thing, but you're going to scoop in at the belly even more as you twist around. Keep that body up nice and straight. And then each time just see if you can rotate through a little further. Bringing that waist out. Use that exhale. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Coming into our C curve while we've got our band where it is. Look. We're going to do C curve plus bicep curls. So, because your band's around your feet, you're going to want your feet flexed rather than planted down on the floor. But same position of the body as we normally would with our C curves. So we're going to start nice and tall. We're going to tuck the tailbone under. Now, starting with the C curve. Exaggerate that movement of the spine. I want you to think about it coming from the pelvis. So it's not just your upper body that crunches in. You tuck in the tailbone. So you tilt the tailbone underneath, tilting the pelvis so that when you're rounding the shoulders, you're trying to get the ribs to meet the hips, so you're folded in the middle. So with the band, we're going to do exactly that. We sit tall, we tuck the tailbone under, we roll through and down, and come back up. Just do that a couple of times. You probably need to wrap the band around your hands. Maybe get into hands on the band. Let's just do one more practice one here. And then come down. This time, you're going to bicep curl, squeeze, and hold. And do 4 reps, and then we're going to come up. And then come in. So same thing when you C curve. Scoop and hold in the belly. Be brave. Take it down as far as you can, but maintain that curve, particularly as your arms start to move. Elbows are tucked in, and you're going to think about just trying to tap your shoulder. So we roll down. Find that position. Maybe take it down a touch further this time. Scoop. 2, 3, 4. We're going to do 2 more coming up and down. And then we're going to hold it down there, and we're just going to bicep curl. Taking that belly down a bit further. Crunch in, yeah? Ribs to hips. Don't let that chest lift. Last one, down and then up again. And then we're going to come into a 20-second hold. Be really brave with that C-curve position. Set the position with your belly in your spine before you come into that curl. So we're going to come down. Set that position, melt in. Get that curve. 20 seconds from now. Try and touch your shoulders. Scoop and draw in. Don't let your tummy muscles stick out. Ten seconds. Almost there. 3, 2, and 1. Roll it up. Let go of that band. Just take a big reach forward. Relax in there. What's next? Great. So, this one, if you've got a blue band, grab it. If you don't, you're just going to use your TheraBand, my words have gone, TheraBand, and you're going to bring it around your legs and tie it at the top. Otherwise, you're going to bring booty band around so it's above your knees. And we're going to come into some bridges before we come into some ab work. I'm going to do, actually, tell you what we're going to do. We're going to still keep on. We're going to come into some clams first. Let's activate the glutes a little more and then we'll come into the bridges. We'll do the bridges after the clams, or maybe in between. So, bands around the knee. I want you to do a little check in here, make sure your hips are stacked. We're going to scoop the belly in, lifting that bottom waist. Feet are together as we lift and lower. Now, because we've got that band there, you're probably going to have less range. That's absolutely fine. You're probably going to feel that you've got more muscular engagement, which is great. But I really want you to check and make sure that you're not moving from that hip. As soon as that hip rolls back, it's going to switch that glute off. We're lifting in the waist and scooping in the belly. We're trying to lift as high as we can. You can use this front hand if you need a little bit of support. I'm thinking about, as my knee lifts, I'm drawing in even more. Nice work. Can we lift any higher? Give it a little pause at the top. $15 seconds. 2, 1, hold it up there. Lift and squeeze for 10, draw in, watch the hip, lift in, 5, 3, 2, and 1, bring it down. Give it a little tap. Nice. Coming into some leg swings, so you're going to bring bottom leg to 90 degrees. Your top leg is probably not going to be able to extend away too much. Even if it's about 45 degrees, you're going to keep it long. So what we're going to do is scoop and hollow as we swing forward, flex the foot, just a little lift there. Sweep it back. Sweep it back as far as you can. So you use that tension to engage in the glute. Sweep it forward and lift. What I also want you to think about here is the knee. So your knee's going to want to do this one and point down because it switches off the glute. I want you to roll it out so you can activate that glute and lift. 20 seconds here. I know that front lift's nasty. Take it out if you need to. Grit your teeth if you need to. 15 seconds. It's just a little lift. 10. 5. 3, 2, 1. Give it a tap. Rolling onto the back, we're going to do some bridges in between sides. So all the way onto your back, feet, knees and hips all in line, just like we did with that C curve. We start with a little tilt of the tailbone. So we start in neutral, we then tilt the tailbone under, so you should feel that full spine imprint down. We then engage the glutes as we peel, 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 drawn wide on that band. As we lift high, we maintain that top to roll down. I know we've done quite a lot of glute work, so those glutes are probably going to start to activate pretty quickly. We're going to do a couple of reps and then we're going to do some pulses. Keep drawing wide on that band, not super wide, but just so there's some tension there. Melt the ribs down to the hips. Keep that long spine. 15 seconds here, moving through, and then we'll hold at the top. Ten seconds. Five, 3, 2, 1. Coming to the top, holding it up there. This one, we're going to drop the hips and lift. Pulse, pulse, pulse. 15 seconds. Draw wide on that band. Lift, lift, lift for 10. For 5, 3, 2, 1. Keep that strong position. We're going to come back to those reps just for 15 seconds, and we're going to come into one final hold. Last 10. Keep those hips high, drawing wide on the band. In 5, 3, 2, 1. Lift those hips. This time knees come wide. Pulse, pulse, pulse. 15. 10. Keep lifting those hips. High as you can for 5, 3, 2, 1. All the way down. Oh, we're going to feel those glutes tomorrow. And we're not finished yet. We're going to do our palms on the inside. Give your knees a quick hug in. This is the last of the leg work. So you're just going to roll yourself over. Last bit on the legs, and then we're going to do some core. So, set that position. Do a check-in, make sure those hips are stacked. We're drawn in, we're scooping up. Same thing applies as normal. Feet together. I'm going to lift. I know it's a bit cruel during those bridges because it's already activated, but hey, you'll be unbalanced if we don't do it. So remember, I'm thinking about scooping in even more. So as my knee lifts, I'm drawing in. Don't worry too much about the range, but just see if you can push it that little extra touch further. So just take it slightly out of that comfort zone. 20 seconds here. Keep lifting, keep drawing in, keep those hips stacked. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. And hold it up there for 10. Keep lifting, draw the belly in. 5, 3, 2, and 1. Down, give it a little tap. Last one on these legs. It's just a little 30-second burst. Bottom knee comes to 90 degrees. Extend that back leg away. So remember, we're going to use that tension just to engage that glute a little bit. We're going to swing forward, keeping that knee rotated out. A little lift forward. Woo. And back. Just work with your own range. We're here for 20 seconds. Last 5, 3, 2, and 1. Roll onto your back. Plug your knees in. Oh, dear me. So, what we're going to do here, we're going to come into our curls. We're going to keep our band around our knees. And we're going to bring our hands behind our head. We're in tabletop. So, because the band's there, we want to create that tension on the band. So, we want to think about drawing a little bit wide, just a little bit, just so we're creating that tension. You might feel those legs a little bit, but it's going to help activate the core. So, knees are directly above hips, don't let them creep in. Come into our curl up. So, knees stay where they are. As we exhale, draw up, and down. Remember, we melt ribs to hips, we scoop in the middle. We don't let the tummy muscles push out, we draw them in. Exhale to lift, keep that little bit of tension on the band. Don't let the knees creep in. In 15 seconds, we're going to bring the obliques into it. In 10. In 3, 2, 1. So this time just an oblique curl, exactly the same thing, but we're just going to twist each elbow to knee and down. Keep drawing wide on that band. Alternating sides. Try and keep the hips still. 20 seconds here. Hold onto a tingle nail, you're done. Last time, keep lifting and reach that elbow to the knee. In 3, 2, 1. Come to the bottom. Take a quick breather. Set your knees. We're going to come back to the top of that curl. We're going to hold it up there. Breathe in. Exhale. Knees are going to come wide and in. Don't let them creep in. Wide and in. We're here for 20. Keep it steady. 15. Keep drawing in the middle. 10. Can we take them any wider? Lift that chest. We're here for 5. 3, 2, and 1. Hug the knees in. This time, band's going to come around your feet. So, we're still creating that tension on the band. So we're going to have to keep the feet flexed, obviously, to keep the legs there. So this time, this first one, we're going to come into the curl up, same as we just did, and we're going to send the legs away. And then draw them back in. So, We start in tabletop. We're keeping those feet wide so we've got the tension on the band as we curl up. We send the legs away and we draw in. Come to the bottom, we take a breath. Remember, the lower down, you bring those legs, the harder it is. Keep that tension on the band. Try and maintain that tabletop. 20 seconds here. I know it's hard. If you need to, just stay down on the floor and just send those legs away. Or just come back to the curl. We've got one last thing to do after this one. Hang on to it. 20 seconds. Did I already say that? 20 seconds from now. Keep working, team. Last 10. Pull wide on that band. 3, 2, and 1. Draw it in, keep that band there. Leg raises. So, last one, keep the band where it is, leg raises. Higher option, curl up, lower option, arms down. If we need to as well, we can always pop the hands underneath the hips for a little bit of a brace as well. So like this. Legs up towards the sky, slight turn out of the knees, drawing wide on the band, we take a breath. Exhale, you lower it down, slowly back up, recover at the top. Let's go, take a breath. We're here for 30 seconds. The lower down we bring it, the harder it is. Keep pulling wide on that band, you got it, team. 20 seconds. Scoop and hollow. Don't let the lower back lift. Don't let the tummy muscles stick out. 15. 10. 2 more reps. Oh, let's finish on a hold. Why the hell not? Bring it down. 10 seconds. Scoop. 5, 2, 1. Whee! Woohoo! That one did it. That finished it off. Take that band away. We don't need that anymore. Have a breather. Let's just take one knee into the body and then across. Getting a nice rotation here. Keep the shoulders in contact with the floor. We're not kicking. And come back through, around to the other side. Through, coming into our figure 4, one foot onto the opposite knee, grab the back of the thigh or the front of the shin, drawing the foot close and the knee wide. And change sides. And then come up to seated. We're going to come into a pigeon. If your pigeon isn't accessible today, you're going to come into your butterfly, so feet together and draw your body forward. Otherwise, you're going to pop yourself up into a plank and you're going to draw one leg forward as you push the other leg away. Sitting nice and tall into that position, try and balance the weight in the middle of those hips. And then if you want to, you can always come down onto the elbows and breathe. slowly rolling out of this one. Feel free to stay in these stretches any longer. Just going to roll onto your side out of that one. Legs nice and wide. And you're going to reach forward. And use that chest down. And then up. Keep your legs all wiggle off. You can just roll into the pigeon if you want to, or if you prefer, you can come through into that plank. Again, just sitting tall, try and get yourself into the middle of those hips. It's all good if that's not accessible. And then roll forward, if you want to. Again, stay in it a bit longer if you want to, otherwise you can come out of it. So hands and knees, you're going to tuck the toes behind, push into the floor with the hands, coming into a forward fold. Here you can just have a hang, maybe even take a little hamstring stretch. Okay, feels good. And then you're going to interlace the fingers behind the back as you extend the arms, stretching into those shoulders a little bit. And then bring the hands down. Take a big breath in. On your exhale, big bend of the knees, and slowly, slowly, slowly rolling all the way to standing. And then we'll take some nice big breaths to finish. So breathing in and reaching up. And a big exhale. And again. One final time. And exhale. And give yourself a hug. Nice work. I hope you enjoyed that. Hopefully I can get some more to you soon. But that should keep you going. Stay safe.